can go through the book I wrote in 2005. You see that the director of NIH that I met and attending a press conference in Washington, everything is registered and recorded, tried to do its utmost to eliminate corruption in NIH, the institution you consider a very effective one. Because Los Angeles Times in December 2004 published 7 articles showing corruption and NIH researchers' corruption, millions of dollars spent and allocated to approve some projects. Giuliani, so I would say that once the old and good Europe is doing well. Crosetto, yes, the director of NIH issued a decree that afterward had to withdraw. He even mentioned the gospel, saying you cannot work this way, you cannot behave in this way, selling products to pharmaceutical companies. Professor Ratti is interrupting them. Ratti, I'm sorry to interrupt you once again, but there are another 3 contributions. Good evening. I am the responsible person of the Court for Patient Rights, and I want to refer to the 2 previous questions made by the engineer. Consider, Professor Crosetto, that I've been following you for 6 years, and what is the progress made from 3 years ago to nowadays. 3 years ago you showed us the prototype, and today you are showing us the comparison chart that has been filled up. And then 3rd point, you know that we are following you. You are a tenacious researcher, and researchers must be also constant in their studies and research. We know that we need to defeat cancers, all kinds of cancers, and we don't have to create false indications, because people are there to wait for positive responses. We always report to police non-honest physicians, whereas we pay tribute to the honest ones. Of course, you would need a Bill Gates for your research. And Bill Gates should invest some of his billions of dollars, because there are no other alternatives. We need a rich person who can allocate funds. You are right, you're good at what you're doing, you have shown that, but I'm not a physicist, and we know that we have breast cancers that have not been detected, even if they were big nodules. So it is important for our patients to see that there are tenacious scientists and researchers, but there is one thing we cannot understand. You made a comparison with another project. The author of that project included the word cancer and received lots of money. So why can't you convince the CERN and other colleagues and say them, listen, I've got a good theory, please listen to my theory. Crosetto, yes, for sure I can tell you exactly what I've been doing over the last 3 years, but I also have to ask you what you have been doing over these 3 years. As a representative of the Court for Patients' Rights, the first question is, if you are the responsible person, then why don't you say 30 billions have been spent with no result at all? Why didn't you give money to Crosetto as well? How did you spend 30 billions dollars? You should ask the people who have received funding how they spend that money, and ask why Crosetto hasn't received money. I can tell you exactly what I've been doing step by step. I went to the Brookhaven National Laboratory at my charge. I presented before the Medical and Scientific Unit organized by the Associate Director Ralph James of the Brookhaven National Laboratory, and before the representative of the medicine unit, and everything is recorded, and I was told that my project was a project to be financed, and they also promised me to send me some letters supporting my funding request, but for 3 months I've been keeping writing letters and asking for the promise to be kept, to send me the letter supporting my arguments. The CHIPRIT as well, the research center from Texas, but I have not received any letter, so I have no fear, and I'm free to say, and I can show you how I spent my time, my efforts over the last few years, but I would also be helped by you, because this money was there, and this money was given to someone different than Crosetto. Larry Arthur received $339 million in 2009. It is a project included in the chart. So why don't you ask Larry Arthur, what do you give us in turn? Why Crosetto didn't receive any money? That is an important thing. I'm doing my best, and I've spent my money devoting myself to this project, and I can tell you exactly what I've done. But but I didn't receive any money. No funds were allocated to me, and funds were allocated to Actual Pet Project, and the author of Actual Pet Project said that this was not a cancer research project.